Hey everyone, it's Susan Pierce Thompson and welcome to the weekly vlog. So I want to tell you about a Bright Lifers coaching session that happened just recently. I was talking with a Bright Lifer named Dee Fay, and I have asked her permission to share that, to share her name. And Dee is living at maintenance. She used to be 242 pounds. She's 5'3". And her weight now hovers between 108 and 114 pounds. Happy, thin, and free by any standard. She's free. She's, just in her right size body. Well, she recently went to get a body composition test, and the person who did the readout said, well, to be in the perfect ideal range, you should gain this many pounds of lean mass. And so to do that, we want you eating more protein and we want you doing this and that and blah, blah weights and this and that. And Dee got all discombobulated. How much do I change my food plan? I do this bright line eating thing. Do I really need these extra servings of protein? What does that do? Blah, blah, blah. So she calls in for coaching because she's been spinning out in her head and I need to do something different and da, 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 da. And so I carefully went over her stats with her, what she's doing. I was like, so Dee, are you doing any exercise? And she was like, yeah, I do 3 lightweight workouts a week, and I brisk walk for a minimum of 30 minutes, 3 to 5 times a week. And I was like, okay, that sounds pretty good, actually. And I was like, tell me your stats again. You used to weigh 242 pounds and you're 5'3". And now your weight hovers between 108 and 114. She was 112 or something that morning. And you're 5'3". And she's like, yeah. And I was like, do you realize that you have right now what you always wanted? You're there. You're there. You're exercising moderately, healthfully. You're in your ideal weight range. There's nowhere to go. You're there. And she was like, yeah, you're right. I was like, picture how when you were 242 pounds, you would have viewed your state right now. Living the dream, right? The best ideal you could ever imagine, right? She's like, yeah. It's like, you have right now what you've always wanted. And so I wanted to shoot this vlog for those in the Bright Line Eating tribe who are there, who have what they've always wanted and are not noticing. Living the dream and not noticing. And, if you're not in that category, it might seem ridiculous and fantastical that anyone could have succeeded so wildly and not notice, not really be celebrating. But I want to say it's not that uncommon. It's, psychologically speaking, pretty hard to settle into, that's it, I'm happy, thin, and free. And the reason is that a lifetime of striving to lose weight and treat the body as a project doesn't go away overnight. It's really hard to let that go, actually, and to just settle into, I'm there. And now I just kind of do these things to maintain this. And now I focus on striving in other areas of my life because this one's handled. It's really hard to make that shift. And there's this other psychological phenomenon, which is that in every area of life, if we've got a long journey to make a transformation, right, we always tend to focus on the gap between where we are now and where we ideally want to be. There's always some slice of gap right there, like for Dee, right? Oh, if I just had 3 more pounds of lean mass or whatever, right, I would be. So all of a sudden that gap, those 3 pounds of lean mass become the focus. And we fail to focus on the huge, huge gap between where we used to be and where we are now. All that progress. It's almost as if it never happened. And we just keep focusing on the gap between where we are now and what would be even better, what would be more perfect. And what a recipe for just misery, like just that kind of constant treadmill of, I got to improve, I got to improve, I got to do better, I got to do better. So I just wanted to shoot this vlog in case there was anyone else out there in our tribe. And I know there's actually quite a few of them because, I could be put in that category. I'm living the dream and sometimes fail to notice. And I know there's other people because I coach our Bright Lifers and this isn't that uncommon a story. So I wanted to shoot this vlog for anyone else in Bright Line Eating Land who is failing to notice that perhaps you already have everything you've ever wanted. If that's the case, it's time to notice and focus on the gap between where you were and where you are now. All that progress. Settle in. Happy, thin, and free. It's a beautiful thing. I'll see you next week.